going to tell you a little bit about, I've only 20 minutes, so I have to be fast. I'll tell you a little bit about what we did. I'm probably going to tell you more about what went wrong than what went right, but bear with me. You're probably asking yourself, why is there somebody from Boardmona talking to us about innovation? It's pretty true that we wouldn't be in business today unless we diversified and transformed for our key core businesses. So a lot of work to do, more to do, left to do. I probably put up this slide because I'm told that you will remember, not your fault, mine, 10% of what I say. So here's the main message from today. If the guys wheeling the chart there, wheeling the cart, had listened to the guy who had the invention, probably would have saved a lot of time. So always make time for innovation. My point today, my main point is that by collaborating, you'll do it better and in many cases faster. The main part of what I'm going to talk to you about today is innovation within Boardmona, what it means, what we suggest, what we realise it is. A little bit about building a collaborative approach in Boardmona, how we gone about it, some examples, and finish up. I promise it'll be within 20 minutes, Dennis, you'll be glad to hear, on some concluding remarks. First thing first, if I was to do a vox pop, not in here because you're all informed people, but outside, it'll be about innovation. What do you understand innovation and research? Most people will say, well, it's complicated and has to do with space rockets. Other people would say, probably the same people would say it has to do with social media, Facebook and Twitter and so on. Most people will say it's complicated. Some people will say it has to do with Einstein and great scientific breakthrough he had. Some people would cite Kodak. I hope there's somebody from Kodak here, but as an example of how not to innovate. And some people would talk about the iPad or iPod as an example to innovate. And most people would say it's about something new. But very few people would say that innovation is really only harnessing ideas for the commercial benefit of business. So with due respect to all my academic friends and colleagues around the place, it's something as simple as that. I'm not saying the individual projects are simple, but the end game, the objective of the whole exercise has to be simple. So within Boardmona, we have a very simple philosophy when it comes to innovation and research. We simply say that you can't do today's job with yesterday's methods and be in business tomorrow. That's the key message we, over the years, have tried to do our innovation based on. And we have a straightforward definition that innovation is the research harnessing of ideas for the commercial benefit of business. That such ideas range from something simple to something medium to breakthrough. And we should always focus on breakthrough because most of the innovation effort and rewards to a business comes from something more fundamental. Through these ideas, we're talking about the primary aim is to add profitability and growth to business. So the basic point of this whole conference, I totally concur, is that by collaborating you make the whole process easier. Within Boardmona, we have developed this approach to innovation. It's a 4-step approach, and collaboration, as I say, can help speed up the cycle. But element 1 is on the number 1 here, the ideation. It's a fancy way of saying coming up with identifying the opportunity. Item 2, or point 2, is called the implementation phase. That's once you identify the opportunity and pick the best ones to run with, it's all about carrying out the project. And therein is the opportunity for collaboration. Point 3 there, on the right-hand side is the exploitation phase. And that's really, we're talking about getting the value out of innovation and bringing the invention to market, because there has to be a commercial end game or industry won't involve themselves in innovation. And point 4 there, very important, sometimes missed, is that you must reinvest in the process. Reinvestment is a continuous process. Reinvestment is key, or else you will suffer the Kodak moment, who are a very innovative company but didn't see digital photography coming and more or less were blown out of the water really overnight. We open, and this is where collaboration comes in, we have an open innovation policy whereby we look for internally for ideas and initiatives and insights from a whole range of departments, from finance to HR and so on. But the big opportunity is missed if one isn't open. There's the external opportunities by collaboration with the 4 basic elements there. And again, just bear in mind there's a lot more to do with collaboration than just the 3rd level of collaboration. There's collaboration with partners in the industry, with entrepreneurs. A whole range of collaborations we have aren't indeed with 3rd level colleges. So be open, but be open in the sense that you collaborate with other than 3rd level. There's a whole world out there. We have identified 4 key components which makes collaboration or innovation and research of any type more fruitful. They start with the vision. There has to be a vision. You have to know where you want to go. Identify the people. People in innovation are very, very important. Those people, and be they employees or collaboration partners, need to be committed to the vision, and only then, once you've fulfilled 3 of the 4 criteria, do you look at putting a process in place. So our feeling will be that get those 3 key components right, and the process is very important, but the process is only one of 4 elements. If I was to say which of those 4 elements is most important, it's the people. Get the right people for the right position, and I saw it recently on social media, so I can't be wrong. That to me sort of epitomizes what innovation is about. If you want to go far, then go alone. But if you want to go if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, employ and innovate as part of a team. So our core approach, in summary, we keep talking about the fact that innovation is something simple and grounded, and it's for the commercial benefit of the company. So the 3 main components that we talked about before are something that we keep saying. It becomes a mantra to us. So therefore, innovation has 3, we see innovation and research having 3 main components. Decentralized, in other words, do it as close as possible to the marketplace, because innovation and market success in industry are closely aligned. I think collaboration, having an open approach to innovation, is key. And finally, we talk about innovation in horizons. Just very quickly explaining that, we think if everybody tries to innovate on everything, that's a recipe for getting nothing done. So we talk about the 3 horizons of innovation. This is a graph showing profitability over time of any business, and it's horizon 1 is the horizon, the innovation you do, the research you do to keep you basically ahead of a competitor. It's about doing what you do to stay good at what you do. Horizon 2 is, well, what comes next? What's going to happen when we don't make widgets anymore, or widgets like we make aren't applicable in the business? Horizon 3 is sometimes called Blue Skies Horizon. It's Blue Skies Innovation, rather. It's what comes into our world. The problem is that sometimes we all focus on Horizon 3 innovation without realizing that the low-hanging fruit is in Horizon 1 and to a lesser extent in Horizon 2 innovation. So we would focus on Horizon 1 and 2 innovation, with a smaller group of people focusing on Horizon 3. But we collaborate right throughout all the horizons. Unashamedly, we say that it's about marketplace, and you probably heard in the past all these different types of innovation. Well, this is I'm not saying it's the definitive definition, but it's our understanding of the types of innovation. So this is a plot on the y-axis will be the product you offer or the service, and on the left x-axis is the marketplace. So if you indulge in innovation that is an existing service in an existing market, it's called incremental innovation. If you involve yourself in an existing product or service in a new market, it's called semi-radical innovation. If you involve yourselves in a new offering, be a product or service in an existing market, it's disruptive innovation. But the daddy of all innovations is if it's a new offering in a new market. That's what we call breakthrough innovation. But that's what we all focus on, and that's because its Horizon 3 gives a lower immediate gain and lower boundary. Some examples of what we do in Boardrunner. All the stereotypes out of the way first. That's what we started life as in 1948 as a peat company, and we've had to transform for that. So we're quite proud of our heritage. We did well when we were involved in that. Incidentally, that's the Phoenix Park in Dublin. So we weren't always, while we were quite a rural company, our reaches sometimes move from the rural into the urban environment. But today, we're innovating in all of these spaces. So we're involved in wind farming, in biomass coal-firing and generation of electricity. On the right-hand side there, we're involved in generating ambience fuels. Bottom left there, we're involved in ecotourism, so taking degraded environments and making them more appealing and giving people a space to go to and creating an environment for wildlife to flourish. We recently acquired a waste company, bottom in the middle there, and we're involved in what we call waste mining. And on the right-hand side, just so that show we're still involved in peat, we are developing growing medias. So in the data that's in it, if you bought flowers, chances are they were grown on the peat that came from the Portmore. A bit more detail. On the renewable energy space, we're involved in wind farming, solar panels, biomass coal firing, and CHP plants. That's an example of those. On the home heating space, we're involved in developing clean fuels, because you're aware that global warming is big issue now. Watch this space. In the next year or so, you'll see a briquette coming out that looks and feels like a briquette, burns like a briquette, but isn't made of peat. is biomass briquette. It's made of biomass, which would have lower air emissions. So that's coming out very soon. We're also involved in biocoal. Biocoal is producing coal with lower emissions because carbon emissions from coal is something that the world can't sustain. In the middle there is the biomass briquette, and on the right hand side is the biomass briquette burning. In land, we're one of the biggest landowners in the country. We own 88,000 hectares of land. So big issue is what to do with the land. We've been looking at things like obviously developing ecotourism. We're also looking at the growth of biomass on degraded land. I should mention on the right hand side there, that's a series of fish. It's perch. We're also talking about fish farming on lakes that we generate on worked out cutaway peatlands. And so that the waste people are left out, we call that the resource recovery section. So we're looking at means by which we can extract the maximum amount of value out of the waste we currently collect. Some concluding remarks. We are convinced that the most dangerous phrase in the English language, or indeed any language, is that we've always run that way. So back to my very first slide about taking time out to innovate. I think that's also very important, that we look at different ways of doing things. And my concluding remark is that innovation is much more effective if we collaborate. Somebody else might have the answer. Thank you.